Hello and welcome to the first Football Roundup podcast of the season. I'm here once again this season with Daryn. Good evening, Daryn.
Good evening, how are you? We're back. We're back.
We're back, yeah. And we're back with a bang this season.
Yes, we are.
Because the derbies are back, Daryn.
The derbies are back, yes.
So when we get into that, when we get closer to derby day, of course.
Yes, we will.
But I have to, unfortunately, there's only one place to start.
Yes. I wonder where that is.
I was going to make this podcast an Alexander Isak free podcast because everybody is sick to death of hearing about Alexander Isak this summer. But unfortunately, I can't because of the statement or the two statements that came out over the last 24 hours. Now, I'm not going to get into the full story because everybody knows the full story over the summer, over that player wanting to leave. He came out with a statement last night saying that he's remained silent while everybody else has been talking about his future. Well, yeah, we knew that. But he also said he has lost trust in the club. Promises have been broken because of the fact that Paul Mitchell, who has now left the club, promised him a pay rise that he didn't get. And he said, when you lose trust in a club, it is no longer possible to continue the relationship. Now, that's fair enough. I understand that. But why he didn't come out and say that 2 months ago, I don't know. If he'd come out and said, I want to leave the football club because X, Y, Z, because the situation never changed over the last 2 months. He knew he wasn't going to get a pay rise 2 months ago. So if he'd come out and said, that's the reason I want to leave, fine, we'll let you go. We'll get a replacement. We'll get 150 million for you, and off you go. But the summer has just been dominated by it, and I still don't know how it's going to be resolved because we still need two strikers. So you can't leave until we've got two strikers through the door. We haven't even got one yet. So,
Well, he's made it worse for his own back because if the transfer window shuts and he hasn't gone, what's he going to do?
yeah. And the second part of that is, quite likely, every competitive game that Alexander Isak refuses to play in, he's going to be fined his full wage, which is absolutely right.
Absolutely right.
How long is he going to do that for, Daryn?
Exactly.
He's not going to do that the whole season.
Exactly.
If he doesn't get his move to Liverpool, he's going to be reinstated back into the team, whether fans like it or not. He is, because he's not going to go the whole season without his whole wages docked.
No, he's not.
That's 9 months' wages. It's not going to happen. So he's, as soon as the 1st of September comes, or comes, and then the 2nd of September comes in, and he's still a Newcastle United player, he's going to want to play because he's going to have to play because there's a World Cup. There's a World Cup coming this year.
Of course there is.
So it's his job.
Yeah.
He's going to want to play, and the money, he's not going to want to be docked 9 months' wages. It can't happen. So
Footballers are greedy. Aren't they really greedy people?
They are greedy because no matter what happens, eventually he will get his move to Liverpool, whether it's this season or next season.
But if you went open, Harry, would you want to play like that? Because where
does it stop?
Where does it stop? When he gets hit with Liverpool, does he do the same thing?
Yep, 3 years' time, he's going to do exactly the same thing to Liverpool, and he's going to say, I want my dream move to Real Madrid. So it doesn't stop. So Newcastle need to put their foot down, really, and say, you're not going. Otherwise, players are just going to do it more and more.
Yes, yeah.
There's far too much player power these days. Contracts mean absolutely nothing. And I'm not going to say any more because the fans showed their anger towards the player, as you could hear on the...
Recording what they said.
As you could hear on the audio on the TV.
Yeah.
We can't repeat it on the podcast, but I think you can all imagine getting onto that Aston Villa game. First half was excellent. We controlled the game. We had a front three of Anthony Elanga, our new signing this summer, Harvey Barnes and Anthony Gordon. Now, that was obviously because the player in question refused to play, so we had to just go with what we had. But it was a good first half. A few chances for Anthony Elanga and Anthony Gordon. The first chance was in the first 4 minutes. Broke away. Anthony Elanga broke away one-on-one with the keeper and forced a good save out of the Aston Villa goalkeeper. Then Anthony Gordon put a header over the bar from a cross. They were the only real two big chances of the first half, but it was quite clear that what we needed, a striker, because we didn't have an out-and-out striker on the pitch because Alex refused to play. So, into the second half, Aston Villa came more into the game with forcing a couple of good saves out of Nick Pope, who played instead of Aaron Ramsdale, our new signing, who was on the bench. Ollie Watkins forced a couple of good saves out of Nick Pope. And then the big turning point of the second half was a through ball from Anthony Elanga, a good through ball. Anthony Gordon went one-on-one with the keeper, and the Aston Villa defender pulled him down. Last man, red card, so Aston Villa down to 10 men, which kind of spoiled the game because Aston Villa just put everybody behind the ball and we couldn't get through. So the game ended 0-0. Not much to report in the second half, apart from the chant once the players had left the pitch. The Newcastle fans voiced their anger towards Alexander Isak, which is totally understandable when you consider the situation, because if Alexander Isak was on the pitch on Saturday, we would have won that game comfortably, I would imagine. But obviously he's refused to play, so we need two strikers before the 1st of September so we can get rid of him, basically. But that was the story of the weekend from Newcastle's point of view. Now I'm going to hand over to Darren, who's going to tell you all about what happened with Sunderland's return to the Premier League. Over to you, Darren.
Thank you, Harry. Well, I am a very happy man. Our return was fantastic. We beat West Ham 3-0 with virtually whole new team. The team was Robert Roost in goal, Ronaldo in defence, Trio on the other side, Dan Ballard in defence, Johnson Silt alongside him, and then in midfield there was Chumsy Talby, Noah Zadiki, Adora beside him, Greta Tracker, and Simon Adingra under the wing. And Eliza may end up front. Now, first half was fairly even. West Ham was on top first half, I would say. And then second half, I don't know what somebody said, but whatever he said did the trick, because we were all over West Ham from the start of the second half to the finish. A first goal across from the wing, and Eliza Mienda, lovely header, 1-0. Then second goal, Simon Dingler from the other wing, put the lovely cross in, and Dad Ballard with a header, 2-0. I think this is great, this. And then Justin went off with an injury, and Aldenite came on, another one of my new signings from the bench. Love. And you see he's been in defence for years. And Wilson came on for my end also. And then third goal, and Chelsea Talby passes the ball, Isidore runs on his own and just slots it in the back of the net for 3-0. Great performance, second half, wonderful performance. The crowd were absolutely ecstatic. Great start to the Premiership season, more than I could have hoped for, you know.
Yeah, and I think, Darren, what's more encouraging is the three goals came from three of your Championship players.
Yes, it's really good that the three lads that have got up, got the goals, which is fantastic.
And you've made some excellent signings as far as I'm concerned.
Wait, Granny Jacker, what else? Company's going to be. I mean, you could see him telling players where to go and giving instructions where to go on the pitch. And when he's not on the ball, he's even better because he knows where to go if you see the ball, you know.
Granny Jacker experience from Arsenal, a Dingler from Brighton coming in.
Yes.
Brilliant signings, absolutely brilliant signings.
Yes.
And from out of nowhere, from people saying, oh, Sunderland have got no chance of staying up. I think you've got a chance of staying up now.
Yeah, I do.
With that team.
I'm not getting carried away because it's a long season, but that's a great start. You couldn't wish for any better.
It's a great start. And I said, but as soon as the fixtures came out, I said that you would win the first three games, because when you look at them, West Ham, Burnley,
and Brentford,
just promoted, and Brentford. Burnley and Brentford, in my opinion, will go down this season, especially if Johan Wissa comes to Newcastle, which is another story. Yes. But I think Brentford will go down this season. Burnley are nailed on to go down this season. So you've got a great chance of winning the first three games, and that's obviously the perfect start.
It is. You can't take it for granted, of course, because football's football, but if we win the first three games, I'll be over the moon.
Yeah. So that's the first podcast done and dusted for the season. A lot for me to talk about that unfortunately didn't involve football, but a good start to the Premier League season for both teams, I would suggest.
Yes, definitely.
With a point away at Aston Villa is a good point, and obviously 3 points for Sunderland is a perfect start.
Yes.
So the next podcast next week will be me probably talking more about Alexander Isak, unfortunately, especially with the fact that we've got Liverpool on Monday night, which is perfect timing considering the situation. And
we've got Burnley on Saturday away
at 3 o'clock.
At 3 o'clock, yeah.
So they're the two games we will be focused on. Hopefully I'll be focused on the game rather than the Alexander Isak situation. But until next time, thanks for everybody for listening, and thanks Darren for joining.
No bother, Harry, no problem at all.
And until next time, it's goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.